Welcome everyone to another dock review, but it's not just a dock review, it's a spot review, and it's one of my favorite spots in Switzerland. It's Saint Blaise, not just for pump foiling, for wing foiling, for water sports in general. Let's get into it. Welcome to Mast Aluminium. The recordings are from two different sessions. One is with westerly, one with easterly winds. The easterly winds is called Bise. This year is with westerly winds. It was between 15 and 25 knots of westerly winds, therefore the nice swell. Saint Blaise is at the lake of Neuchâtel, close to Neuchâtel. It's at the northeastern tip. You can get there by car. There's a parking over here. You can get there by train. Here's the train station, or you can even get there by boat, as the harbor with the guest spots are just very close by. Not for pump foiling, but if you go wing foiling or kite foiling, be aware of the shallow waters. There's a north and a west cardinal mark, and if you don't respect them, you're gonna hit rocks. And don't get confused by the kiters and the windsurfers just riding over those. There are three docks you can dock start from. Number one, you have to jump start. Number two is actually part of the Surf Life-Saving Club, so you only start there if there's no one around. And there's dock number three, which is a perfectly fine dock, but the waters are quite shallow. Let's get into those. So yes, you saw there's another dock, so let's check it out. I thought it might be a good one, but where the solid part ends, it's not deep enough. Then they placed these three plastic ones, and it's so wobbly I could barely stand. So starting from there, for me, not an option. If you want, go ahead, but I don't think it's really a good starting dock. So let's start with number one. Number one is a jump start dock. It's pretty high up, so if you're into jump starting, that's the way to go. You get some speed when you jump on your board, that's great, but you have to be precise with the landing. So let's check out dock number two. Now, just go there if no one from the safety crew is around. If there's no one around, it's a pretty decent dock. There's this sign which is kind of in the way, and underneath where you stand, there's this plastic thing which kind of is in the way. So I tried to duck underneath that sign and jump to the front, and you really have to get used to that dock. It's not perfect by all means. But like any new dock, you get it eventually and manage to start. And you start always behind the pier, and what happens next is amazing, because once you get out, you get into the swell, especially with westerly winds, and you can really ride those waves. I'm not an expert at all, but I managed to catch some waves and go down to dock number three. On dock number three, you're not in the way of any safety crew. There are some motorboats sometimes there. There's a ladder to get out if you need to. There's still the sign in the front of the dock. You also have to jump pretty much to the front. Once you're on your board though, and you want to catch that swell, you have to pump a couple of seconds in the wind, which can be exhausting. So before reaching those waves, you have to put some work in it. But now look how this spot is amazing. If you have westerly winds, you start from dock number two or one. You pump in the flat water behind the pier to the waves. You make a little downwinder. You get out, you walk back, or you start from dock number three. If there's wind from the east, Bise, you do it the other way around. You start on dock number three, you pump out, you go with the wind, and you get out at dock number two. As simple as that. What you can see, if there's westerly winds like that people park their car in Saint Blaise, they take the bus or the train. They wear their wetsuit, they have their foil screwed to their boards, and they ride towards the wind to make a little downwind with the arrival here in Saint Blaise. There are a lot of people who won't get on the water in Saint Blaise. Usually people watch out for each other, but on days where it's really windy and there hasn't been wind for a while, it can get really crowded. The kiters are usually situated here by the beach. It's very shallow, so if you're on foil, don't go in here. There's a sailing school, there is surf rental, there are events on that site, so it's really cool for that. This, for example, is the podium of the Wingfoil Cup 2024 in Saint Blaise. If you missed the video, check it out. The link is on top on the right. If I've forgotten anything about this spot, please tell me so in the comments. If you want to see other docks where you can dock start from, check it out in the playlist. And I'd like to thank every one of you who subscribed to my channel. It's really motivating for me to see the numbers grow. See you guys in the next one.